very, very difficult situation. I think we can all see that the country is absolutely reeling from the horrific treatment, and death of Mr. Floyd. And obviously, there's a lot that's going on. Dothan City Schools, we've been clear in our belief, not just on our educational excellence, but also, just development of our students, mentoring, all around citizenship and the belief in every student having, the right to develop, having the support that they deserve, and all of our beliefs and our vision and our mission. I think we've been extremely clear in our actions on where we stand. We're here to serve our students, to serve our families. We have a diverse population, certainly, but that's a benefit. That's a wonderful characteristic that we are able to have. But I have asked every employee, to have a sense of understanding, to be sensitive. And, I was extremely, disappointed and unhappy in what was expressed. I understand that everybody has a right to their own opinions. Unfortunately, fortunately, I think as educators, we do represent not just ourselves, but we represent the school system and the school system's belief. And we ask our teachers and our coaches and our staff to really be cognizant of the fact that as adults, our job is to, help bring our children along, to mentor them, to support them, to demonstrate leadership. And this would have been a time to demonstrate leadership. That being said, this is a personnel matter. I don't normally comment on personnel matters because obviously this is a public school system. There are things that a superintendent can do, and there are things the superintendent cannot do. We have immediately, this happened, I believe, on Friday night, and on Saturday, of course, I began reading and seeing all of the posts. I've answered a number of emails directly, and we have investigated. We are in the middle of an investigation. I have spoken to Coach Grider, and this particular coach will not be part of the football team. He will not be a presence. He will not be a coach with us. And there are, whether we have a social media policy or not, and by the way, we were in the midst of developing a social media policy, and it will come forward. There'll be a draft that will come forward this month to the school board. It'll be a draft. Any policy sits on the table for 30 days, so there can be input. But we were in the midst of doing that when all this, and in the midst of revising our pandemic materials before, and then this hit. So that being said, whether we have a policy that's specific to social media or not, I go back to the policy manual for Dothan City Schools. You look at section 5, 1C, which deals with employees. And clearly that says employees are expected to treat all students and stakeholders with respect. Then you get into the code of ethics for educators. And, we know, and it clearly says, employees are expected to demonstrate moderation, restraint, and civility. and to serve as role models for students. An educator should demonstrate conduct that follows generally recognized professional demeanor and standards. Unethical behavior or conduct is any conduct that impairs the certificate owner's ability to function in his or her employment position and could in some way detract from the health and welfare or discipline of the students. So I think that as you will see a social media policy come forward, those are the areas that we will focus on. I don't think we need a policy to tell us, what is right and what is wrong. People can have their opinions, certainly, but when you're associated with it with an organization, you represent that organization as well. So this is a difficult process. So I'm going to leave it at, I will be making a recommendation to the school board, and it will be up to the school board to make any further determinations. But the investigation has started, and we will continue to follow our procedures. And again, I can make a recommendation, but that recommendation has to be approved by the school board.
From WDHN, when can we expect any action taken following the investigation, and how will you update media outlets of your decision?
Okay, well, personnel matters, again, have to go before the board. The next work session is, I believe it's the 11th. We might hold a special called meeting for personnel matters, and if we do, then we always get the information out to any of the news media, and we post in those meetings, as some have already done. They're able to come on and listen to what is being done.